So the St. Paul, Minnesota, they are talking about now establishing a reparations commission for, as we look at here, those are the descendants of enslaved Black Americans. Here they say also enslaved Africans. Now, they didn't say enslaved Africans, okay? African immigrants that come here, they don't qualify because they wasn't enslaved. They came here later after the fact, okay? Reality speaking, our ancestors did come from the African continent, whether you want to reject it or not. Now, they say in December, the Boston City Council unanimously voted to create a task force looking into reparations of Black. I say throughout most of 2022, the California Reparations Commission task force has done extensive research on the harm the state has done against Black Americans, preparing to give $223,000 to the descendants of slaves living in the state. It say in August 2022, the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, signed a $10 million budget to allocate Providence municipal reparations program. But yeah, the Providence program, white people can get that money, so that's not reparations. I said reparations are starting to become a thing. They said, and now St. Paul, Minnesota is taking necessary steps to allocate reparations to its Black American residents. Say on Wednesday, the St. Paul City Council voted to create the St. Paul Recovery Act Community Reparations Commission, an 11-member team dedicated to reparations to descendants. They say here enslaved Africans. They say this model follows of using a task force to research how Black Americans have been affected by slavery over the past few centuries in a city similar to what's being done in Boston and California. They said the ordinance indicates the commission will evaluate city expenditures using the quality of life metrics as indicators of progress on reparations, create an annual work plan that will notify city officials about commission priorities and review city programming and budgeting related to reparations. They say the goal of the commission, is to create a sustainment of generational wealth for Black Americans. They say, and to boost economic mobility and opportunity in the American descendants of child slavery community. And say, while this is a great effort, say for Black American residents in St. Paul, there are still many questions left to ask. Say, who will be eligible to receive reparations? Do you have to be from St. Paul? It say, how long do you have to live there before you be eligible? And how much will these reparations be worth? And say things for the Black citizens of St. Paul to consider. Now, of course, I'm a firm believer of they have to, be on the 1870 census for sure, to trace the ancestors back, at least to that. Because we can't have Johnny come latelys come in and say, hey, I like, no. It's for the descendants of people who had their ancestors on the slave fields of America. It should be for any Black person who lived there, in my opinion, and have that qualification. Now, these city, reparations plans, we just covered Evanston, Illinois. They had a reparations, and hardly anybody got it. Only, let's say, maybe 5-6 people got it, and they had 12,000 residents, and only 106 people applied, and a few people died waiting on their reparations. So, which is, it needs to be done at the federal level. It's great at the cities, and that's fine, but it needs to be done at the federal level. Now, I go back to what I said before about the Democrat Party. The Democrats had the House. The Democrats had the Senate. They could have passed reparations. They could have passed it, and they chose not to. And I'm going to keep bringing that up every time because they could have did qualified immunity. Y'all gave them the House and Senate. Y'all gave them the presidency. They could have did qualified immunity. They could have did reparations. What they decided to do, an anti-Asian hate crime bill. Off of your votes, Black folks, off of your votes. They gave the Asian community an anti-Black hate crime bill. That was supposed to be your hate crime bill. Yours. And they gave it to somebody else. They gave Ukraine billions upon billions of dollars. Money that could have been given to as down payment for reparations. That's what your votes got you with the Democrat Party. And they still want you to come out there and vote for them. It doesn't make sense to vote for a group of people that's blatantly disrespectful to my community. It just doesn't make sense. But y'all let me know what y'all think about, this particular story here, out of Minnesota. They're talking about going to create a reparations commission. So far, we haven't seen a bunch of checks go out. So for me, it looks like the Democrats, because Minnesota, in all the areas, it's Democrat Central. It seems like they're trying to get black people, to try to go back and vote for them. So they say, let's create these commissions. But no, commission's not going to work. You have to start paying checks.